While I was surfing on YouTube the other day, I stumbled across a show on A&E called The Intervention. I don't know if you know this show, but it's basically a show that follows drug addicts as they share their life stories, and it always ends with this intervention where the addict's friends and family they gather together, they write them a letter and they share their feelings and ask that they get help. And while I was watching this episode, I watched few episodes in a row, I noticed something in common. So, welcome to Saki's Random Thoughts, where I share my remarks on the world and people around me with the hopes to plant a seed of kindness and maybe compassion in some of you out there. What I noticed while watching these few episodes of Intervention is that those drug addicts might have made bad decisions in the past, or their actions have hurt people around them, but that doesn't represent the person that they really are. I mean, a lot of them were portrayed as kind, loving person while they were a kid and then while they were growing up. And many of them had to live through this traumatic experience or a strong grief that they just could not get over. And they made this decision to use drugs so they could cope with these negative emotions and also numb their pain. But internally, behind these walls of addiction, extreme pain, and a lot of the times this fear, they were all people filled with love. And how do I know that? Because that's what we saw after they went to rehab, and once they got their life together, we could see that those people were a lot of the times living for other people and not necessarily for themselves, and they were just so filled with love and they were there to love others. So I just want I that's when I thought that wow, like who you are yesterday is not who you are today. Just like the person maybe who broke your heart last year might be a complete different person today. The wrong decisions that you've made in the past or some of the horrible story that you tell yourself about you does not define who you truly are. Your past doesn't define who you truly are. In fact, I believe it should be the other way around. That the past does not define you, but rather you are defined by the potential that you could be. And every day you are the best potential in the making. Of course, you'll make mistakes. Of course, you will make wrong decisions. It might end up making someone upset. And of course, the life will throw you curveballs around you, and you might get hit very hard, and it might be very tough. But just remember that what defines you aren't those incidents, but rather it's what you decide to do with those experiences and to keep living to be the best potential that you could be. So let us forgive others, forgive our wrongdoings, send love and prayers to the people who hurt you the most, send love to yourself for all the pain you've endured in your past and for all the potential you have to becoming the best person of you. Thank you for listening to my random thoughts.